Well, welcome back to Living with a Classic, and a video that I've been back and forth about making, but I've called a couple of my friends and shown them pictures, and everyone said, yep, you need to do this. And, well, you saw the title. My customer got ripped off, and I feel bad for him. And I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but this car was taken to a shop where there was supposed to be welding done and some paint. It is a Daimler 66 Coupe, and I had no involvement in where it was going or anything. I actually told the customer, don't restore it, it's too far gone, but he wanted to, and that happens sometimes. And I told him, if you find someone who wants to weld it up and paint it, I'll build it back together for you. This was a couple of years ago, and then it finally got done and came to my house in the summer, and I've had it down in storage. And about a month ago, I started putting it back together because now we're scheduled in and it wants to be done by May. So we're working on it. And my plan was to just put it back together now. It's a V12, it's going to be manual, so I'm working on a manual conversion for it, doing lots of fun things. Front suspension's out of it, it's all painted and nice. You can see, I'll show you some boxes down here with all the bits, is ready to go back together. Rear suspension, all the parts are blasted and they're getting painted now as well. Then I found some things, and that's what this video is about. I found some really bad workmanship, to the point where I don't often get mad, but I got mad because I know what customers paid for it. And when you pay for something, you want it to be done. And things can always happen. That's what I said. I mean, let's say I build an engine for someone, and first time you go somewhere, it drops a valve or something. It's my fault. I will do my best to fix it and sort it out. I'll communicate with the customer. There has been no attempts to try and fix this. At least that I'm aware of. And the other thing is, the car's actually been painted once more after, because the paint was shoddy. Paint's nice now. The engine bay was not painted the second time. That's what we're going to talk about, because it was matte black and it was fine. And the customer got a deal at a friend of a friend's paint shop he knew to get the car painted the second time, and that deal did not include under the engine. But I mean, we sort of talked about it with Phil, and says, well, it's difficult to mess up an engine bay, especially in a V12 when everything is covered. Should be fine. No. So I started taking some things off the car, because when I build these cars, as you know, I remove the bonnet and I remove the front wings, just because it's really refreshing not to be afraid of the wings, the bodywork and things when you're working on the engine bay and putting things together. So I put on those really, really late in the restoration. And then I started noticing some things in the engine bay. It kind of looked like someone just had sprayed on top of rust. And I called the customer. I said, this is what I found. Do you want me to investigate? And he said, yes. So I did yesterday, and now you'll see my findings. Are the boxes, by the way, with all the bits painted. So that's going to go back together really soon with new bushings and everything. So that's lovely. A couple of things I saw right away before the car arrived. And we'll start with those. I saw these bad sort of patches here. I thought, all right, well, that's not the end of the world, because it's a black car. From here down, we can stone chip, so I can grind this down and fix it. And I told the customer, hey, that's not really a problem. It's a really ugly patch, but we can make that nice, and I can fill it up with some welding. I mean, that's no problem at all. I said the most important part is that no one's welded to this, which is the front mount for the bumper and the bonnet. So I said, that's good. And I'll take those out and blast those to get those nice as well. So I said, not really a problem. Same thing on this side, except it's not even painted there, except there's rust behind it. So I'll probably cut this out and actually make my own panel. So yeah, there's a start of the workmanship. That I mean, I've seen better welding, but I mean, this would have looked nice if you ground it down. Then I started seeing areas where it was uneven. This has just been wired wheeled yesterday. There's low humidity in here. I run a dehumidifier all the time. This shop is heated. So you see over here, it hasn't started to rust or anything. So the redness and brownness you're seeing in here, that was under the paint. And in some areas, I think there might have been a primer. Look here, because the car was burgundy before. So we're that reddish. So that might be a primer and that, but still, you'd grind these things down. On this side, it's worse. And we found holes filled with filler. I mean, on my daily driver, that is an old XJ6. I could actually botch this with some fiberglass and be like, save that for a later date. But you'd never do it for somewhere else. Especially, this is such an easy panel to replace. I mean, it's not difficult. Yeah. And then there's patchwork in here that is not even ground down. Yes, it's difficult to get in there. You can have a little Dremel tool. Yes, no one's going to see it. Sadly, I did one thing which I wish I would have done on camera, but it wasn't on camera. I put my finger here and I was pointing out, and you see the rust there? That's pushed through. So this panel's bad as well. The good thing about that is you can actually cut the panel out and then you can do the welding behind there properly. I mean, that's what I would have done. Yeah, I mean, what am I going to say? It's just bad, but a little bit for the customer as well. You want to document this. Thankfully, the rest of the car seems to be pretty well done. The doors seem good. Everything else seems pretty good. It seems to be in here, which this was the difficult part of the car because this part of the car is gone. However, I want to document a bit of fixing these things up. And so I think there'll be an update video. And I'll show you, I'm not going to film the process, but I'll show you pictures of just tidying all this up and making sure it's good. Making sure there's no hidden things. Making sure that there's actually metal, because I think that might be fiberglass. And just doing a proper job, because that's all you ask for, is that something is done properly. So why does this frustrate me so much? I mean, it's not my money. Well, it frustrates me because we are, as people work on classic cars, if you're a painter, a mechanic, a bodywork guy, I think we're all in the same boat. We're in the same team. We do this because we love these cars. Hopefully. I mean, I couldn't find a much easier way of paying the bills than restoring classic cars. But I love it, and I wouldn't want to do anything else. There must be some pride. I mean, there are countless hours on most projects that you can't charge for, because you find that tiny little detail that's incorrect. And if you're a perfectionist, you try and fix it. You're not going to charge the customer for that, but you know it's going to make him happy. This is the opposite. This is someone charging the customer and not doing the job. And also tricking the guy. I mean, the customer, he's a very nice guy. He's well off, of course, because otherwise you can't do restoration like this. So maybe someone thought that, oh, I'll just trick that guy. He has money. He doesn't care. Well, he does care, of course. He's earned that money. And he's restoring his dream car. I'm also mad because I have a finite time on every project. I book projects so that I can work every single day, pay my bills, and I always add some extra time, you know, because things take longer. But this is unexpected. At this point, I was going to mount up the front suspension. Can't do that. If we're going to be welding, I don't want to ruin freshly painted front suspension. I got the pedal assembly. It's going to be manual converted. I was going to put that in and start doing things like that. Can't do that. I can't even begin with things. And now I'm at the point where maybe I should start looking if this has been done in other places. Like, what does the boot look like? Or things like that. And yes, the customer wants me to do that. So if I find anything else, I will let you know. But I think the rest of the car is really nice. I mean, the paint, can you see? It's super, super nice and everything. So it's going to be a beautiful car once it's done. And technically, okay, the little small rust patches, but like this is, of course, this is strong. It's just, if you just ground it down flat and painted on that, it would have looked great. It's just, it's the workmanship, handing something over like that, which I think is, it's not nice to the customer and it's not nice to the next guy. I mean, if I have a car that's all done mechanically at my shop and then it's going to an upholstery shop, I mean, I'm not going to send it over with it full of trash and leaking. I'm going to send it over. It's going to be clean. It's going to be freshly washed. It's going to be nice. And I'm going to deliver it with a charged battery, with it working. I'm not going to hand over something that's not done. Anyways, rant over. We'll do a different video for next time. But I just really felt like I had to do this. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This is Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.